Chris Angel coming at you for another episode of Marketing for the Rest of Us. Look at this. I have to look way up here in my camera. Let's talk about shooting it straight today. I want to talk about saying it straight in your marketing. It is, I'm a sensitive soul. I respect that. I want you to feel safe around me. And I want you to feel respected. And so what happens a lot of times is it's easy to not say what I see because I want you to feel safe. Now, the challenge with that in marketing, though, is that it leads me down very random, flowery bunny trails for how to try to describe the difference I'm trying to make and where you might be stuck. So when I don't say it straight about where you're stuck, then it kind of occurs as maybe a pleasant exchange or maybe even a random interaction. But what it doesn't occur as is like, I understand you, I see you, I get you. So let me put this into context. Let me give you an example. One of the groups of people that I have a heart for are holistic practitioners. I think one of the things that will create a groundswell in this world is the work that holistic practitioners do, right? When you understand that the path to health is not just one way, right? That it's not binary thinking, it's this way or that way. But when you understand a holistic approach to health, that both Eastern and Western medicine can help. When you understand alignment with chakras, or you get energy work, or you're empathic, or you understand healing, and you can help other people find new ways into healing and expressing themselves, stepping into who they confidently are, because they're tired of living lives where they feel small and like they're not living true to themselves. Okay, what happens is the world wakes up. Humans begin to wake up when they step into themselves. And sometimes, and I think holistic practitioners are great at providing that kind of space and those kinds of services. So for me, I have a real heart for holistic practitioners. Now, one of the ways to talk to holistic practitioners about marketing would be like, hey guys, like it's really important for you to be consistent in your marketing and to say what you want to say to the world. And whatever else you hear people say. Or, hey, holistic practitioners, you should really like have a blog or a podcast or whatever. That is how most people are trying to talk to or teach everybody, let alone holistic practitioners, about marketing. But what's in the space about holistic practitioners, right? Well, a couple things are, if I'm in a room with you and you're a holistic practitioner, there's some things that are already there that most people just won't say. As in, all right, guys, look, one of the challenges with being a holistic practitioner is that people think you're woo-woo. They think that what you do is witchcraft or like you're a weirdo, right? And I get that. I totally understand. I've been an outcast for much of my life. I've just learned to fit in, right? But I love all the spiritual stuff. I love the woo. And so one of the challenges in marketing is if you're a holistic practitioner, you have to address the woo. You have to talk about it in a way that has people not feel weird about the woo, right? So you can't do that in a soundbite. If you've ever noticed, if you're a holistic practitioner and you try to describe what you do in a 60-second clip, it's near impossible because there's too much nuance. There's no cultural agreements for all the things that it is yet. There's no language around it. So you spend time like meandering through trying to explain it in an ad, in one video? No. So that's the challenge. Now, okay, so pause. Do you see how what I just did was I'm speaking to what is in the room. I'm saying it straight. I'm telling you, if you're a holistic practitioner, that much of the time you trying to explain what you do goes off into the boonies and it's all woo-woo and people don't understand it. They don't get it. And so because they don't get it, they don't ask you for help. Okay, do you see how that's different than how most people would talk to holistic practitioners about marketing? I am saying what's in the room. I just got off a call with a client, a coaching client, right? And they work with women. And one of the stuff they work on is women's confidence with their body. Okay, now that's a very sensitive subject. So if you are standing in front of a room and you're trying to speak to women about their body, we're being very sensitive about how it is. And I'm saying, why not get up? Why not stand in front and say it straight? Like, look, how many of you are tired of wearing Spanx and tucking it in all the places? How many of you would like to not wear heels and rather wear flats? How many of you would like to be in comfortable clothes and always, rather than, listen, part of the problem for us as women is that we're stuck in this box of perfection. Partly because we think that that's what society asks of us, and partly because our own inner critic won't let anything else happen. Okay, that is another example of saying it straight. And when you say it straight, people are like, whoa, wow, I can't believe you just said that. And at the same time, they're like, thank God you just said that. Because you see me, like, I'm tired of pretending. Do you know most humans are just tired of pretending? So when you say it straight, it creates a safe environment. It's a weird paradox, but when you say it straight, it actually creates a safe environment because now I can stop pretending and I can just be myself with you. You, the person who's marketing to me. You, the person who's speaking to me. And then in the space of safety, because I said it straight, what happens is now I can actually talk about what's possible. We don't have to stay stuck here. If we go back to the holistic practitioner example, like, I think what's needed in that space, in the holistic space, is for you to have lots of room to describe and iterate what it is you do, right? So rather than being squeezed by a time frame of a 60-second soundbite, let's have a show. If you had a podcast or a show, you would have time to talk about, interview, explain, articulate, give examples of all the work that you do. And it wouldn't be confined by a 60-second soundbite or an Instagram story. You actually could have 15 to 20 minutes to talk about the difference you're here to make. And here's what's fun about that. When you're inside the context of a podcast or a show, it is normal for people to stick around for the whole thing. You know, so many marketer people talk about how our attention spans are less than a goldfish, and goldfish's attention spans are 8 seconds, and humans have less than an 8-second attention span. And so we have to resolve ourselves to using gimmicks and tricks and little like knock on the screen and turn up the volume and like animations and things because we're trying to pander to the people's low attention spans. That's crap. People have attention spans for things that matter, but if you don't say it straight, they don't know why it matters. So you gotta say it straight, right? And if we go back to the holistic thing again, sorry, I got off track there. It's all about like now you have room for relationship and explaining it. And that's the cool thing about a show is people come back for more if they like you, if they like how you say things. If they like that you say it straight, guess what? They come back for more. And that is the beginning of relationship at scale. Do you hear me? That is the beginning of creating relationship at scale. And that's I love that thought process, right? Because it's hard to think about relationship at scale because we don't think of relationships that way. But that's the power of you being so transparent about what you see in the world and then saying it. Because people want to come back even though they're not having coffee with you in person. It's like having coffee with you because they're listening to you for 15 to 20 minutes. So if you were so that's the whole example, right? I'm partly giving you an example, but I'm also teaching you the principle here. And that is like, if you were a holistic practitioner or whatever the heck you do in this world, not being subject to a soundbite, but being free to have a conversation with people about the things you see and saying it straight actually has people come back to you for more because they like how you say it. And they start not liking how everybody else keeps beating around the bush. People can tell when it's not authentic. People can tell when it's not truth. People can tell when you're a facade, when you are a facade. People can tell when you're Instagram perfect. That's a good one, right? People can tell when you're Instagram perfect. Why don't you knock that off? Why don't you be real with me for a minute? And all of a sudden, when you step out, I will say it again, when you step out from behind your mask, other people start to feel free to step out from behind their mask. So that is all about saying it straight. If you guys would like to learn how to say it straight in your marketing, right, so that people respond, engage, and feel safe with you, isn't that a great thought? Feel safe in your marketing? Most marketing doesn't feel safe to people. If you'd like to learn how to have people feel safe with you in your marketing, I have a 6-week program dedicated to that very thing, right? It's called the Groundswell Method Intensive. You can watch a free video at groundswellmethod.com. On the last page of that video is an application for our next upcoming 6-week program. And hanging out with me. I believe in you guys. I really believe that when we start to say it straight and speak our truth in the world changes. So thank you for hanging out with me here in this show every time I go live. Until tomorrow, when I go live again, here's to you saying it straight.